What's up everybody, Andrew Green here, back with another episode of Oxbow Basics, and today is one of my favorites, Lake Concordia in Vidalia, Louisiana. And I've kind of been back and forth on what I was going to do. I was thinking about, maybe I should do just a show on riprap and that type of thing. But I think what I'm going to call this one is Going In Blind, because I have no idea what's going on at Lake Concordia or any of the North Louisiana Oxbows. I haven't been up here in a while, so it's going to be fun. It's just going to be show up, figure something out, hopefully figure something out, and then kind of build on whatever takes place. So stay tuned. It should be fun. Here we are, y'all. It is December the 12th. I'm on Lake Concordia in Vidalia, Louisiana, and I am paddling to a spot. I have no idea where I'm going to fish or how I'm going to fish, but I'm going to fish, and that's what's important. And I do want to make a prediction. I'll say that in 5 years, what you're seeing me do right now is going to be obsolete. Everybody may have a pedal boat or a paddle, an electric motor of some kind. I don't know. I just like to paddle. It's part of the whole kayak experience, if you will. And when I'm 65 and I still have Bruce Lee abs, I'll know exactly why. Notice I said still. That does imply that I have Bruce Lee abs. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Could be an exaggeration. But I'm going to do this for another 45 minutes and I'll be close to where I want to fish. So I'm just a few minutes in and the wind is really not making the place I want to fish easy to fish. It's blowing right out of the south. It's pushing my boat on the bank. I'm coming up on one of my favorite pieces of country fish on these Oxbow lakes in the winter. That's a small private boat ramp. It's really the only hard bottom around, and they really seem to gravitate towards it. It's one of those make a few casts, let the wind push you, make a few more casts type of things. Got a good feeling. Feels right. Looks right. Number one. Not a bad fish. So I was just kind of slow rolling that spinnerbait on the bottom of the drain, kind of ticking the bottom, thump, 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 and he hit it. Concordia largemouth, love them. Feisty little thing. That is number 2, and from the same spot as number 1. I just made a little change. I went from the spinnerbait to a red-eye shad. So let's see, we may have found a little school. Really hard to stay anchored right now. I keep trying to drop the pole, and every time I do, the wind pushes me out. But let's get back there and see what's up.
30 minutes into the day, and I do have 2 keepers in the boat You would think that this is a very good thing. Honestly, I'm starting to get concerned though. The wind's blowing a lot harder
Really what it is
than had been predicted. And as I'm kind of going through areas in my mind, in that section of the lake that I can fish, the wind being like it is eliminating those areas pretty quickly. So I've got one small spot, 2 bites. From here, I have to figure something else out if I'm going to have a decent day.
The wind really is making it tricky there. So quick update, I'm about an hour in. I've got 2 fish in the boat. Had one jump off. I got a really good bite at the end of a ladder, at the end of a dock on the Booyah spinnerbait. It jumped and shook it out. It was about a 2.5 pound fish. Had another bass about 2 pounds follow up the red eye shad of the boat, smacked at it, didn't get hooked up. So don't have a pattern yet, nowhere is close. I think it's just going to be a covering water and throwing something that's moving fast kind of deal.
At this point, I really am just covering as much water as possible, and I stuck with a spinnerbait. The conditions were perfect for it. It was cloudy, it was windy. If you were to look in the book and see how you were supposed to fish today, that is what you would find. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. Just so happens I like to do it, so I push the issue just a bit much. And at this point, this really is something I love about this sport, is I'm at that stage of trying to put a puzzle together and trying to figure out what I should do. I have a couple little hints, gotten a couple of bites, lost one fish, and I'm still in the process of narrowing down options, covering water, and just trying to figure out what in the world could be going on. The plan to cover water as fast as possible and fish with a spinnerbait went away pretty quick because I did not catch anything else doing it. Scrapped it, went to the bank, said I was tired of fighting the wind, got in behind some docks, found some very shallow cover in about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water, picked up a jig, which is something that you fish on the bottom, you fish really slow, you kind of pick cover apart, and I had number 3 in the boat within a matter of about 5 minutes. Things weren't great, but they were definitely looking up, and I started to think that the lure wasn't the problem, but maybe how I was fishing it and where I was fishing it was. I went back to the spinnerbait, started to fish that same shallow cover that I caught the last fish from on a jig.
Now that is what a Concordia bass is supposed to look like. It's been about 20 minutes since the last bite I got, and the wind kind of calmed down and it just really looked right for that spinnerbait. I pushed right up against the bank, found some old cypress limbs that are laying down, slow rolled the spinnerbait through it, and bam! Beautiful fish. Say 19 inches, somewhere around there. So what I'm doing now, I went about 200 yards down the bank from where I just caught that last good fish. It reminded me of a spot further up, so I made my way to it. Just gonna make a few casts along the dock before I go there, just to see if I can get a bonus. But what the deal was, just a few little kind of spindly cypress branches right along the bank. That is now what I'm looking for, because it really is the closest thing to a pattern that I've gotten today. The one that I want to run anyways. Could probably get back to that little flat and pick up a few small fish. Alright, one more cast and then we're off to the juice, as they say. I don't know who started that anyway, the juice. Such a weird phrase. I guess it's better than the habitat I believe the fish to be in. I guess the juice has more of a ring to it. It's one thing I can say about Lake Concordia and really all these oxbows. They're some more than others, but they're a lot more pattern oriented than they are spot oriented. If you know what I mean, if you can find, you know, something different about where you caught a fish, a lot of times you can just go around the lake and kind of replicate it.
So I'm at the point in the day now where it really starts to get fun. I finally honed in on a depth, on a type of cover, on a distance from the bank. I've got 4 fish in the boat, one of them's really nice. From here on out, it should be just a matter of finding that same cover in that same depth and catching fish. It really is funny, you know, all morning I was thinking lure, what do I need to throw? When that really didn't have much to do with it. I could have fished that same shallow brush with a jig, with a spinnerbait. I'm sure a square bill crankbait would have done fine. It was all about where they were and not what I was presenting to them.
So another change, went to some that same shallow cover where the other nice fish had come from, the 19-inch one. Spinnerbait wasn't quite right. Stuck with the Strike King jig. And there he is. Beautiful, beautiful chunky Concordia largemouth. Really love this lake. Listen, I love this lake. I love this lake. I'm going to stick with the jig for a while. That was kind of the same thing though, just a little bit of brush, not far off the bank, about 2-3 feet of water. That's good. Chunk. Number 6 on the jig.